treat it any different than any other kick. I mean, I actually hit a 54-yarder in practice this week, so I was pretty confident going into it, knowing I could get the distance. I ended up towing it a little bit, so the yardage was a little shorter, but I set the line before the game. So if I do have a little miss hit like that, it's still long enough to go in. Also, it's pretty comforting knowing Luke Elkin and Torrey Taylor both are pretty robotic with the snap and hold and get it down. And at the end of the day, if I do mess up, because I'm human, defense has my back.
Were you surprised you got the call there? I mean, it was kind of in that in-between zone, it seemed like,
So,
54, what was the score, 20-7, I think.
So before the game, we set these things called our lines. So I set mine at 36, which is what it was, the 36-yard line. So then I was like, okay, because you got to be ready no matter what, because you don't know what he's going to call. And then I looked to see specifically the linemen that come on and off the field, because a lot more players come off the field than go on when it's going to be a field goal. So I don't know. I saw him go out there, heard the call, ran out there, kicked it. You don't really have time to worry about it. So.
What was the feeling after it went through?
Oh, it was a great feeling. It's always a great feeling when you PR on something. It's all your hard work going, helping your team win.
You had a pretty good celebration there. Was that?
That wasn't planned. That was just emotions taking over.
You were in a pretty good competition to start the season, and then you picked 10 out of 11 now. I mean, how do you feel confidence-wise, and are you getting more and more comfortable with each game?
Well, I'm always comfortable. My comfort levels really haven't changed because, I would almost say, I am doing as well as I am right now because of Aaron, because of how good he is. It's always pushed me to try and be better, best player I can be.
Yeah, thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Drew.
It's been about almost a month since you guys have gotten a win, and
Yeah, it's good.
probably feel pretty good right now.
It's fantastic. You work year round for this stuff, so when it comes, you gotta really embrace it. Anytime you can come out with a win, it's just big. And I feel like this was possibly just getting us moving in the right direction with momentum, just stuff like that. But I'm gonna say, probably throughout this whole thing, we didn't change anything. We didn't put pixie dust on ourselves. We have been just doing the same thing week in and week out. And today, we pushed it through. I feel like we played great in all three phases. Played complementary football. So when you do that, you're gonna get outcomes like that. So.
About the 7 sacks, you really got to the quarterback today.
Yeah, the defensive line and I think Seth, they did a great job. I can't really speak upon that, but they just do a great job day in and day out. And the defensive line is so underrated. They just do a lot for our team, and we need to continue to do that. Get into the quarterback is crucial, getting them beyond the sticks. So we just need to continue to do that.
Jack, you've been very vocal in support of the offense despite the early season struggles. For you being one of the leaders on this team, what was it like for you to watch the offense really kind of get going today?
Yeah, no, it was awesome to see those guys because I know how hard they work, how hard all the coaches work. So to just see them push it through, I wasn't really surprised at all, but I was just, it's just awesome to see other people succeed. And when you get the offense, they'll raise their hand and say they haven't had a couple good weeks, up to their standard. But today they went out there and played their butts off and did a great job. So I'm very happy for them.
12 tackles from Jay Higgins. How have you seen him step up?
Yeah, he went in there and did a great job at the end there. I think he got about every single tackle when he got in, but he's just done a great job. He'll continue to build off that. He's a great kid. He loves to learn. He's smart, and he's physical. So when you get all those things combined, you're going to get a pretty good football player out of him, and he'll continue to grow and he'll continue to improve. But I'm excited to see what Jay can do. So.
You guys feel like you're playing your best football now? In November, or is it
it's tough to say. We want to week in and week out kind of build upon But today I felt like everything was clicking. I wouldn't say it's our best football though. We got quite a bit to clean up, but overall we got the win. We're moving on. We got 4 more weeks. We're taking it 1 week at a time. But yeah, like you mentioned, November is when teams got to be playing their best football, and that's usually how Coach Ferentz and his teams usually operate. So we just need to continue to build off this. So.
How much did it mean to you to be a finalist for the Campbell Trophy?
Yeah, I mean it's an honor, but first and foremost, like I'm when I'm a finalist for something like that, like that's all my coaches, my family, and my teammates. They've just put me in that position. To be able to succeed in that way. I guess the academic part I can kind of get it put on me, but I mean, I don't know. I won't be the first one. I probably had a little bit of help here and there, so yeah. I mean, it's all about them, and I'm just super grateful and blessed to have great people around me, a family that supports me, coaching staff that supports me, a position coach. Who pushes me day in and day out, and my fellow linebackers and fellow teammates that push me day in and day out to just become a better player and a man. So,
What was the locker room like? I mean, was it waterworks from your head coach? Or?
yeah, anytime you get a win, you can usually expect that. But it's super special to be a part of that and just get to see someone who cares so much about the program and us as individuals. It really just kind of makes you just push harder, and you just love to play for someone like that, honestly. So,
Okay, thanks, Jeff.
all right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Jack.
Spencer, was there a better first half of throwing that you've had? I mean, you're, I think, 14 and 18, but most of your passes were right there, and then one you had to throw away. I mean, how did you feel out there in that?
Yeah, it felt good. Yeah, I think those guys did a really nice job of creating separation, and you know, the offensive line kept me clean practically the whole day. So definitely a team effort. But yeah, I was feeling good. Good to get in a rhythm and you know, score some points. It's good.
What was that feeling like as after a couple frustrating weeks to really have everything clicking?
Yeah, it's great. You know, we've been talking all year really, but especially after last week, it just, you know, you can't get down for too long. You got to keep working and push it through. And you know, I think that's kind of what we were looking at there. We pushed it through, and you know, it doesn't mean anything for next week. But you know, today we played well enough to win, and you know, put some points on the board. And you know, there's gonna be stuff to clean up still. You know, I'm sure we'd love to have more touchdowns in the red zone, but you know, for the most part, I thought it was a pretty good performance all around.
You seem more relaxed out there today. Did you do anything different this week, or?
No, I didn't. Sometimes you know, you put it out there. Sometimes it goes your way. Sometimes it doesn't. But no, nothing different.
Part of
Seems
that was
like-
your offensive line giving you some time, right?
Yeah, I thought they played really well. You know, all day. You know, there was a couple that I'm sure they'll want back, but that's true for us all. So, really nice job by them.
What was your week like? Did you know Monday you were going to start? I mean, obviously they didn't share that with us, but did you have a good idea you were going to start a week, and were you kind of in command of the
We didn't
offense?
really
How'd it go?
we didn't really talk about it as a room. You know, Alex and I split reps Monday and Tuesday, and then so you know, by Wednesday I had I guess a pretty good idea, but we didn't like talk about it until just Friday, I guess. I knew, but we didn't have like a in-depth discussion.
Yeah, I guess I was just curious, you know, there was some up in the air of who was going to be the quarterback, and obviously you seized control of that spot today. Was that a day that kind of validated, I guess, the practice time you put in, and getting that nod from the coaches?
Yeah. I mean, I think you know, the coaches are gonna do what they have to, and it'd be stupid for me to expect anything different, especially you know, with how the first half against Ohio State went. But it's just like life. You know, you know, I tried my damnedest and couldn't get it done last week, and you don't reset everything and abandon everything that you know got you to the point you're at. You just go back to work. So yeah, it felt good. Felt good to go back out there.
Was the key today being balanced? I mean, you were able to run the ball and throw the ball.
Yeah, I think we ran the ball really effectively today, which is great to see. Just because that's really how we're built, is to be pretty balanced like that, and it makes our life easier in the pass game for sure when we can run the ball like we did today. So that was a step forward, I think.
Spencer, even going back to the spring, I mean, you guys have had injury troubles with, receivers and everything, but I think you guys had 8 different players catch at least one pass. So it really feels like you had your full kind of balance of the offensive tools for the first time in maybe all season.
Yeah, I think at least from the injury standpoint, we've had our guys back. Deontay's first game back was last week, but for the most part we had our guys back, and I just think it's good to see what happened today of just everyone kind of getting involved, and that's how we want to play. That's kind of the goal every week, and I think for the most part everyone brought it today and was playing their best, and I think that's what that's the level we can play to if we're playing our best. We just got to keep working and keep executing.
Did anybody, after last Saturday, did you talk to anybody? Did somebody kind of help reset you or anything, or just kind of recalibrate after last week?
I meet with our sports psychologist at least twice a week in season, and Carmen, she does a great job. And after weeks like last week, I meet with her more than twice. So she's really helpful. But also just the coaches too. I mean, it's just treating it. It was a bad day, bad game. Doesn't mean anything for the next game, right? It doesn't carry over. Just like good games I might have had earlier in the year, they don't carry over to the next week. Just got to treat each game. It's a new day. It's a new game. So yeah, I had a lot of help.
You said her name is Carmen?
Yeah.
What are the main things that she tries to stress to you?
I mean, it kind of depends. It's really what I need, I think, and it varies week to week. I think a big thing for me is just staying grounded, especially earlier in the year, working on techniques, just physical releases to keep yourself in the moment. Because it's not fun coming to the sideline. It's early in the year, primarily, but coming to the sideline and hearing the boos and all that. It's easy for if you're not if you don't have mental health coaching or mental skills coaching, I should say, to really get affected by that. But she does an outstanding job, and meets with a lot of guys on the team and helps. So primarily staying grounded and staying in the moment, because it's the best way to attack.
To be able to score on every possession in the first half, how valuable was that during the game, and how valuable is that going forward for this team, for your unit especially? Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, like with our defense, if we can put, I don't want to put a number out there, but if we can score X amount of points, we've got a pretty good chance of winning the game. So anytime we can play like we did in the first half of scoring every drive, that's great. I know we'd love to come away with more touchdowns than we did. But yeah, I think the main thing is just like every position now, we've shown what we can do. We've set the standard now to how we're capable of playing. So there's no excuse for anything less than that moving forward. We set a new bar, and now we have to go achieve that every time and continue to raise that.
What'd you like the most about your performance today? I know you got to watch the film, et cetera, et cetera. And also, since I can only have one question, can you walk me through the pot bomb play? That was a little improvisation, it seemed like. I think happy with how I threw the ball. Felt like my decisions were clean mostly all day, and just taking what the defense gave. That's my job. Keep us on the field, get the ball to the guys that are capable of making plays with the ball in their hand. And the pot throw, it's just they covered it pretty well downfield, and I was going to run, and then the guy on pot tried to tackle me, so threw it to him. Talk about a guy that can make something happen with the ball in his hands. It's Monty Pottebaum, so it's good.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Spencer. So how does it feel to finally have a winning feeling at the end of a game in the locker room?
It was a lot of fun out there today. I was running off the field with a smile on my face, a lot of drives, and we were having fun. We were moving the ball down the field, and we were executing. So I was having a lot of fun. Yeah, it kind of felt like being a kid again, just running around playing backyard football. obviously much more on the line than backyard football. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
How good did it feel for you guys, for Spencer, to have a solid game today?
I think we got a lot of guys involved today. I felt like a lot of guys had the ball in their hands, and a lot of guys made a lot of plays. And Spence was, he was doing his job today, getting the ball to the guys that were open, and I felt like that started with running the ball effectively. We were running the ball effectively, efficiently on the ground, staying ahead of the chains. So it's always good, and yeah, I felt like Spence did his job today very well. Everybody executed.
Do you think the passing game is progressing in the right way now that wide receivers are kind of coming back to full strength?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that this is a unit that's starting to take flight a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's something to build on, definitely. Every week we're trying to get a little bit better at certain things and stuff that we take off the tape, and I think getting guys back healthy is definitely something to contribute to that. But yeah, I feel like it's something to build on today, and we've continued to build over the last 8 weeks, and we're going to do that after watching the film tomorrow.
Is the offense, I mean, we hear about it, the offense looking good in practice. Is this just a little bit of validation of what you've seen in practice over the course of 3-4 months?
Yeah, I think it's kind of redundant to come up here and say that, like, I felt like we had a good practice week, but I thought we did, and I thought Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday we were executing, we were doing our job, we were critiquing the stuff that we saw on the tape from last week and building on the game plan and executing the game plan. But I'm sorry if that doesn't answer your question, but
It's easy.
yeah. Okay.
It's easy for a game like what Spencer had last week to linger. How did you see him turn the page quickly and prepare for this week?
I think the luxury of having a game every week except for the bye week is nice, because you watch the film on Sunday and you learn from it and you kind of just get rid of it, and then Monday morning you have a new game plan to learn. So I think that's something to be said. The coaches, they get the game plan out to us really quickly, and we start developing our game plan for the week and kind of looking at our next opponent, looking ahead instead of looking backwards at, hey, we could have done this better, or I wish we had done that. Those are sorry words, those are excuses. So getting to look forward, turning around right after the game, I think is something that benefits a lot of guys, and I think that definitely benefits him as well, kind of having an end goal in sight. It's a new week, new game.
You talked about smiling, coming off the field, I'm sure the locker room, probably laughing, watching Kirk have his waterworks, something like that too. How good is that for you, the mental health of the team? Because after losing, and there's been a lot of talk or whatever out there, noise, how good is that for the team now that you feel the season ends in less than 4 weeks now, in this regular season? So is that a help that you feel good, feel happy at this point?
Yeah, I think it's proving it to yourself that we're capable of playing at a high level, and the success, we might not have had it yet, but that doesn't mean that it's not yet to come. So I think that staying on task and just continuing to work with our heads down and leaning on the guys that we care about and are in the locker room and the opinions that matter to us, I think that was the most important thing for us the last couple of weeks. And yeah, the outlook is always forward, always something better to do, another opportunity to grasp. So.
Sam, you guys had 8 different players catch a pass today. After all the injury issues, getting guys up to speed once they're back, how good is it just to see, Spencer has a variety of weapons, and you guys can really start to utilize kind of that versatility that a lot of different weapons can bring to the table?
Yeah, it's awesome to get a lot of guys involved. A lot of guys have had a lot of long, tough roads to get to the point where they're at. I'll use Deontay Vines as an example. He tore his Achilles last year, and then he had a wrist problem come up during camp, and he deserves to be out there as much as anybody, and he had the ball in his hands a couple times today. So that's really cool to see a guy like that after a long journey see some satisfaction, and he's going to continue to progress, and so are a lot of guys. So
Looked like Spencer really was throwing the ball well, especially in the first half where every ball seemed to be right where it needed to be. And how does that compare to some of the other, whether it's games or even practices, in which Spencer has thrown?
I'm sorry, could you restate that?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Spencer really seemed to throw the ball well, where the ball was where it needed to be in most situations. How does that compare to some of the others, maybe other games or even practices? I mean, is this as good as you've seen, or is this, right where he usually is?
I mean, yeah, I felt like he was doing his job today, and we got to continue to rely on Spencer. And I felt like he did his job, and I felt like everybody out there did their job today. Starting up front, we ran the ball well, we protected well, and that gives him confidence to stand back there and deliver good balls. So.
Good, thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
I guess before I answer the question, I guess today is my birthday, so I just want to give a quick shout out to the team. We went out there, battled the full 60, and gave a kid the best speed day present he could ever have. So, but yeah, it's definitely exciting. Homecoming in Kinnick. Anytime you're in Kinnick, it's a special opportunity. And then today just so happened to be a birthday, so definitely excited. We executed well, full game, and just looking forward to another battle next week.
How were you able to put so much pressure on the quarterback with the 7 sacks?
I mean, it's just the attitude of our front four. We rush at all costs. We want to be the hardest working team, the most physical team every time we step on the field. So shout out to the offensive line, too, because without them pushing us, every day in practice, you wouldn't see the results you saw today.
You and Ethan had 2 game-changing sacks early on, and you guys are kind of the second team tandem. Do you guys kind of work off each other, I guess, in practice? And what was it like to see that come to fruition?
I mean, yeah, when your number's called, it's your job to step up. It's your job to go in and make a play, and, that's what we do. I mean, we're called twos, but, when you're out there, you're all ones. We just wanted to give some energy any way we could, and, thankfully that paid off today.
How have you seen Ethan progress?
Ethan's my boy. I mean, obviously we're in the same recruiting class. We share the field quite a bunch. I mean, we have a really, really good relationship, and not just Ethan, but everybody in the room. Like, you can just see the little steps of growth every day in practice. And, I'm just definitely lucky to be a part of such a fun group.
Was a sack what you wanted for your birthday?
Most importantly, it was a win. I checked that off the list, but, obviously a sack is cool. But, now I'm just moving forward, focusing on Purdue.
You also had a forced fumble. I mean, if it wasn't for the quarterback recovering it, might have been able to get that present.
Yeah, who knows? I'm just glad. Just happy. Just happy.
What kind of feeling is this for as a team? I mean, the offense didn't need 2 touchdowns by the defense, to win this game. They did it themselves. You guys played the way you wanted to play. It looked like a full team effort. How does that contribute to maybe the overall feeling right now?
I mean, obviously it's great anytime you get a win, no matter what your record is, especially for us. It's been, like a month now, with the bye week in there since we were able to get a W. And I mean, everybody in the building, we knew a day like today was going to come eventually. I mean, you can see it every day in practice, offense and defense, just giving everything they can, every rep, every play. So super proud of them. It was a full team effort. And like I said, we're just getting ready for next week now.
What are you going to do for your birthday tonight?
I got some family and friends in town, so I'm going to try to find a place to eat. We didn't really make a reservation, which is probably my fault. But, worst case scenario, go back to my apartment, hang out with them, and watch football and just, rest up for tomorrow.
Good. Thanks, Deontay.
Questions for Connor Cole?
So what was the conversation like? Was there a point where Coach Barnett said, hey, let's move you over to guard, or how did that go?
We were on the bus ride coming back from Columbus, from Cedar Rapids to Iowa City, and he just got a text saying I was going to be working at guard this week. So, whatever I can do to help.
Is left different from right? How much difference is there left at right? Because you were right guard all last year.
Yeah, I played on the right side my whole life, so it was the first day of playing left guard was a little bit of adjustment, but I feel like I'm getting more comfortable now. So.
What are the differences? Is there a difference?
I think it's just getting into a left-handed stance. It's still kind of awkward for me. So.
How do you feel like you played today?
I thought I did pretty good. I think the whole offensive line did really well. We took a big step forward today.
To be able to rush for 173 yards, how did that feel as a unit? Did you guys feel like there's more consistency or chemistry up front?
Yeah, I'd say we're always building our chemistry and consistency every day. I think it's just a matter of us. I think this is one of the closest we've been in a while, and I think the way we practice every day it was just a matter of time and when things would start clicking.
How does it feel now? It is clicking.
I mean, we still got to take it one game at a time. I mean, what we did, I'd say today has no bearing on what we do next week, so we still got to keep that improvement mentality.
How much confidence did you gain this week?
For me personally, or the whole?
Yeah, individually and as a unit.
I think as a unit, we definitely gained a lot of confidence today. Just getting our aim points and going out there and actually hitting people today was definitely a lot of fun. So.
You're left guard now?
Yeah, I think so. Guess we'll find out next week.
Good another text, right?
Yeah.
What's the season been like for you? Has it been tough? I mean, last year you got thrown out there and, as a true freshman, and now you moved over to right tackle. That couldn't have been easy either. What's this been like?
I think the season as a whole, I mean, there's obviously been ups and downs. I mean, there's always ups and downs throughout a season. It's just kind of rolling with the punches and how I respond to stuff when stuff doesn't go exactly perfect. So.
Is there one big thing now at left guard that you're really working on?
I don't know. I kind of feel more at home at guard now. So, I mean, there's always stuff to get better at. I mean, you can just pick one certain thing each day to work on. So.
Good. Thank you, Connor. Thank you.
What's the mood like in the locker room after a win like this?
That's a good feeling. That's a very good feeling, knowing that everybody did their job and everybody did and executed today. It was a really good feeling today.
There were a lot of big holes today for you and LaShawn. I mean, how did that? What did you think while you were going through that, and how does that compare? Maybe the Lions play today compared to maybe previous games.
I just felt like that they did their job more. They executed. They're young, and this is their first year kind of playing. So I feel like they really did a good job. And when I saw, all thing I saw was green grass, so I just ran. So.
How nice was it to see that much green grass?
That'd be the best feeling, because you know that how fast you can be, and you know if you just explode, you can get out of there. So it feels good.
For a lot of the year, running outside zone has been kind of inconsistent, but today it seemed to be working a lot for you guys.
Yep.
Knowing that is kind of the staple play of the offense, what's kind of the comfort level with that, and then what's kind of the fun, or that play is working and working well?
Just the line just squeezing down and me finding the hole, and it's just that's basically it. Just me squeezing out, finding the hole, and then just exploding through, getting the first down. So, or even more.
You got 18 yards in the first run of the day. Is that just kind of like exactly how it goes on the script? And,
I mean, yeah. If I see an open hole, that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to score. So, whatever I can get, I fight. So.
How are you feeling this far into your freshman season?
I don't feel like a freshman. I feel like I'm like a junior or sophomore. So it's a very good feeling, knowing that the coaches trust me, and knowing that I can, do my job and I know everything. So yeah, it feels good.
Did you think you got in the end zone on that one play?
To me, yes, I did. To me, yes, I did. That was kind of bogus, but it's part of the game. So just ran the next play. Spencer just got in. That's all that matters. Scored. So.
But were you like, come on, man?
In my head, I was like, yes. I was like, that's a touchdown. But at the same time, I was like, we're gonna get it anyway. So I just said, okay, moved on.
Well, I meant instead of the sneak to Spencer, where you're like, give it back to me,
Yeah, I really was. But I mean, that's part of the game. Just knowing if they want to give it to him, they give it to him. Give it to me. Whatever they do, I execute my job and do my job. So it feels really good. So
This might have been maybe, at least at home, maybe the bigger celebration in the locker room than you guys have experienced, because one of them took like 50 years to play that game.
yeah.
What was it like in there for you to experience that as now a true freshman and see probably, I imagine Kirk was watering out, but
Yeah. I mean, like when I first came here, like when I did on my visit, that's when they got the win against Penn State, and that felt really good. So now, like me being a part of it, it feels even more better, because I know that we went out there and we did what we did and we did our job. So it just feels relieving and good.
Did you expect to play this much right away when you
No.
committed here?
No, not at all. What I did, just came in here, worked my butt off, worked off LaShawn and Gavin,
and everybody on the team helped me out, made me feel home. Especially Coach Betts came in, put it on me right away, and felt like I was ready to go. So put me in there, he gave me a chance, and it was just there on forward. So really appreciate him for giving me a shot and giving me a chance. So
Good, thanks, Gil.
thank you guys.